Nathaniel Bandy,
Blue? Bowser's semen?
Albert Boris, Nin10doland,
Bowser's Fury ruined 3D Mario for
and
him.
Nathaniel Bandy. These four nations made a drastic mistake. They uploaded a Mario Kart World course ranking within range of me, Sir Musty. Welcome back to Sir Musty's course ranking world tour. We're on our third stop now, and it takes us to someone I've got quite a bit of history with. A fan so loyal, he's named his whole channel after them. We take a look at Nin10doland's tier list. Being no stranger of his works, my biggest criticism of him is that he seems to be a bit unable to stand firm on a take. That was during the bygone prehistoric era of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. As he learned from our previous encounter, with Albert vouching for this list, it certainly got me intrigued. This is actually really based from what I remember lol. Unironically, Boris, are you willing to put your life on it? I'm going to pin this comment, and if you're wrong, you're banned. For at least a week. For at least a week, no Sir Musty streams. I'm not joking either. But if you're right, 5 gifted memberships. Are you willing to put your soul on the line? Granted, I don't remember much about it. Oh, amazing! Albert rage bait! Albert, I think you actually have to go. That's actually genuinely unbelievable. You have to go for that. There's no way you hit me with that. You have to go. You're sitting half of this tier list now, okay? You sit there and think about what you've done, young lady. Anyway. Let's continue, Mr. Landon.
But of course, you guys are probably wondering why it took me almost 2 months later to finally get this video out.
No. If anything, it's a nice departure from Albert Boris and Nathaniel Bartholomew, who took like way too low a time, if that makes sense. Yeah, so if anything, I'm kind of glad that you took your time. Is that going to result in a better ranking? I don't know, the runtime suggests not, but let's find out.
I had to make sure I knew exactly which tracks I wanted to place in what order, because I am taking everything in consideration here. From the extremely laid-back casual side of things with each track, to the hardcore pro racing side of each track.
Now, I would find that to be quite interesting if it wasn't Nin10doland, chat. And I'm going to be real honest with you. Somebody who is a comp Andy ranking these tracks from a comp and casual perspective would be quite interesting. But you're just going to be telling me, oh, I played it myself, then I watched a couple of time trials, and I'm going to use that as well. There's a reason, for example, why I did my course ranking without watching the world records. Because I wanted to rank them myself. You know, my own opinion, my own thoughts. I don't know, I kind of wanted Nin10doland's opinion, not Nin10doland's plus some videos he saw, if that makes sense. But either way.
Every small detail.
Alright, guys, you know the rules. Whenever the video man shills, guys, 11.6 MiiGuy. 11.6 me, come on, guys. We don't even have 100s? Guys, that is unbelievable. See, that's a bit more like it. Thank you. Anyway.
Enough yapping. Here's all 30 tracks in Mario Kart World ranked worst to best.
Starview. Hey, okay. Hey, Mr. Landon, you're starting off strong.
This one's gonna definitely ruffle some feathers already, because I know before the game even came out, people were so hype about this course because it's so beautiful.
Game is right. Frame 1, people on the line. Frame 1. This man lives on Nintendo Twitter. Holy. Now, don't get me wrong. I think even I referenced that, yeah, pre-launch, people are liking this track. But for that to be your first point of analyses, to mention that is a little... We're already starting off on a crazy note. If that's the only people online, I'll give him a pass, but I guarantee it's not going to be. 1 count of people on the line. There we go. 1 charge already, gamers. 1 charge.
There's just not much to this track. These water sections just really drag this track down, and then you're flying a very straight, boring final section back through the observatory, which sucks because the inside is actually the coolest part. Yet again, another mid track for Rosalina. I say yet again because Rosalina's Ice World is just awful. I'm sorry. Sorry, it is.
Oh, hang on. Opinion apology? I'm gonna have to give that as another charge, gamers. That's a classic charge. Come on, you can't be doing that.
Koopa Troopa.
And he's a Koopa. No! Oh, that's unreal. I'm raising it now, chat. 1 felony, games. 1 felony count. You can't. You just can't anymore. You can't do it anymore. I'm not allowing it.
The beach was my number 30 for a very long time, but the more I... Considering the fact it doesn't utilize any type of rail systems or wall rides, there's no use of the new...
There's a cool feather shortcut there. I mean, for a SNES track, having a feather shortcut is kind of like in theme. Like
racing or pure turning left, because there's nothing else you're going to do.
And also, he's not mentioning the thing. Like, whenever someone puts KTB low, they're supposed to say, It might be a circle, but it's not as intense as I would like from my circular tracks, such as Baby Park, you know? Being a circle isn't bad, because if you say being a circle is bad, then obviously you hate Baby Park, right? Which Baby Park everyone loves because of the chaos, right?
I think another reason why I hate it is because you guys probably remember my absolute hatred for Baby Park.
Okay, so that's got to be two. That's got to be two felony charges, mate. That's unbelievable. He kicks dogs for fun, you know? Classic Landon behavior. Once again, I'm squinting my eyes, Mr. Land. On my mama, well, it's the first track in the game. He took 2 months for this, and what he's about to say, chat, is, well, it's the first track of the game. Let's find out. Hang on. Hold.
Mario Bros. Circuit is just the first track of the game.
Good grief. You can accuse me of being a hater, Mr. I hate watching. This is a hate watch. A little bit. But, like, he's not even helping himself. Do you know what I mean? He's not helping himself here, chat. What's happening here? You know what I mean? That's got to be a charge. One charge of lazy analysis. But let's see if he cooks further. What have you got for us?
There's not much to it, but there are some rail systems and I guess kind of a couple of walls that you can ride on. But for the most part, there's not a whole lot of tech with this one.
At least give us some props for... That's insane. Like, what are we doing here, chat? Help me. No, help me. Seriously, help me. Am I being too mean? Am I being too mean here?
But overall, Mario Bros. Circuit is a very basic first track of the game, and I guess it does its job well. It's still just being a basic track, you know, the one that you start the game with. So, of course, it's not going to be as great as the rest.
Okay, at the end was fine. Like, that's fine, but that's all you had to say, though. When you start off with, it's just a basic track, so of course it's going to be here. Like, again, Fiverr could give me that. And he's going to mention the theming. Come on, brother, it's Fiverr. It's Fiverr. Come on.
Moo Moo Meadows was another one that had me just scratching my head in confusion when I saw that it was in this game. Like, why? How many times do they have to bring back this farm track? It's not that interesting. However, the reason why I put it as high as it even is on this list is because there is actually a ton of tech that you can actually learn with this track.
I mean, again, it's really nice that you're showing me the tech from the world records, but like, again, it feels kind of hollow because none of this is what you discovered, you know? I don't know if anyone feels that same way, but I'm just like, this isn't your analyses. You watched the world record and were like, oh, that's pretty cool. With Moo Meadows, I'm not going to rank it any lower or higher knowing this because you're telling me I can do any of this shit? No. If I can't do it, what's the point of it affecting my ranking? Like, it can be cool, but I just think it's a flawed metric.
Cheap Cheap Falls is one of those tracks that just...
Oh, hang on. There it is, gamers. That's his first charge of Diabolical Take. Now, whenever you get a charge for Diabolical Take, you can get this wiped off if his analysis is good. Because yeah, I'm fully willing to admit that maybe there's an angle to this track I have not considered. Is Nin10doland going to be the one to offer that analysis to me? Probably not. But I'm always acknowledging that it's possible for me to learn something new that I haven't. Why is Cheap Cheap Falls not that good? Take it away.
It's a beautiful track with a gorgeous layout as well.
Place your pen.
Unfortunately, it's the water physics in this game.
Now, gamers. Bearing in mind, this is like, I would say one of two, maybe even one of one tracks to make the water actually fucking fun. If he says to me, gamers, it's too hard, therefore, I'm gonna flip a fucking lid. Let's say, it could not be, hang on, hold. It could be a different reason. Hold. Just to clarify, if he says it's because he sucks at it, I am going to allow the phrase to be said. But hold, chat. Hold.
But it's unfortunate because it's hard to move anywhere. You're constantly...
No, hold. Do not say it yet. Hold.
You're constantly sliding and flipping and pushing left and right. You can't even really control your cart, especially...
Okay, I think that's enough. Say the line, gamers. Nin10doland, I think it's fair to say that is a skill issue, my man. Oh, man. And do you know what it is as well? Do you know the worst way is as well, chat, right? As someone who, you know, actually plays Mario Kart and fucking loves this series, I am making an accusation in Nin10doland. But one thing that I would say I miss, but don't really, is I kind of miss, I put in quotes because I understand why it is now, but I'm old, is when Mario Kart was actually hard to control. I grew up playing Super Circuit. I also played Double Dash. This is an era where, like, you actually had to master Mario Kart, right? And one thing I absolutely love about World is that it's brought back some of the complexity that old Mario Kart used to have. But in this game, they brought back some of that toughness by making the game very techy. And I absolutely adore that Mario Kart finally went down this route where it's a bit more brainful instead of brainless. And I think the ultimate culmination of that is Cheep Cheep Falls, right? You have a track where you're not necessarily in full control all the time, so you have to master the rough waves in a theming that makes perfect sense for it to. So when people just say it's hard, therefore, that actually just makes me so fucking sad. I hardly doubt anybody who's ever played any of the older Mario Kart games, at least to some degree, doesn't find it quite interesting how old Mario games used to control. I feel like complaining about the water driving is hard to control. It's like complaining because the ice track is slippery. Literally. Thank you. The Potato put it in a very concise way. Thank you very much. That's basically it, honestly. Good fucking grief, lad.
Possible to control yourself. I can already hear it now. Nin10doland.
The gods have blessed us this day, gamers. I did not know this video was going to be this much of a train wreck. Holy shit, this is a train wreck, broski. Do you know what? If there's anything I love more than a straw man, chat, it's a straw man that when the person's just confidently wrong. Fucking hell, from the top, brother.
It's like almost impossible to control yourself. I can already hear it now. Nin10doland, it's a skill issue. Maybe
it is. Hang on,
it is, okay? Maybe it is, but maybe it's not, because I don't like...
No, it is. It just is. Maybe a little bit of self-awareness, but nah, it's...
With a downward pouring waterfall, you can feel every push of that water hitting your cart. It's sometimes
and that's what I love about it.
Impossible to make these sharp turns in time.
Yes.
Especially since most of the shortcuts revolve you hitting extremely tight turns around corners.
Oh my god.
Extremely tight turns.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. He's about to mention the shortcut, chat. Ending shortcut is probably one of my favorite ending cuts in like the entire series, chat. One thing I love about this is because like you're jumping out of this waterfall, which is an area that was really hard to control. You have to make sure you're aligned. And remember, guys, these boxes are blocking your forward sight. You could very easily take this shortcut thinking it's free, but then boom, a banana might be there. That is also another factor you have to contend with when you take this shortcut. It's not as simple as aligning yourself and make sure you go. You also have to take care of what is up ahead to make sure you take the maximum benefit of the shortcut. But either way, the fact that you have to mushroom through those boxes when you can't necessarily see the other side is like a very nice end of lap shortcut. One thing I like about the end of lap shortcuts is when they're not free. I like it when there's at least a little bit of design to be had. This ending of lap shortcut is as an archetype, ranking every end of lap shortcut. This is probably one of my favorite types of ending of lap shortcuts. And I absolutely love that. So is he gonna sit there and tell me, oh, it's too hard. Oh, it's too hard. Good grief. Remember, guys, we're only 7 minutes in. Where's Albert Boris? Albert Boris is dead. Albert Boris is never coming back to my chat again. Holy shit, Albert. This was good, yeah? This was good, yeah?
Peach Beach got an upgrade.
Oh, Peach Beach is interesting. Oh.
In this game, but is it a massive one?
I wouldn't say so. I agree.
I mean, at first I had this at the top of my list until I started learning about the meta, which does matter because at the...
Oh my god. So you're ranking it low because you watched other videos. Fuck my life. Do you see how boring this is, chat? I hope I've convinced you how boring this is, right? If you're asking, hey, I was on the same thing. I thought at first, I really liked this remake of Peach Beach. When I analyzed, I'm like, the first lap is a neutered version of the original, and the third lap is boring water. Like, there's only one lap that's good. But for him, it's, I love this track, but people online didn't. Literally. Oh my lord.
At the end of the day, you don't want to be doing tricks and flips for no reason at all. If you look at the world record so far...
I don't know. I don't want to look at the world record so far. I want to know what you think when you race the track, Nin10doland. And the worst part is, he's no stranger to flashback. Editor, put a flashback. He's no stranger to this neither, chat. When he did his 96 track Mario Kart 8 ranking, he also ranked, I think, was it one of the Rainbow Roads high? And I think his reasoning was...
And the only reason I put it up this high is because I know a lot of people would kill me if I didn't. Because I know how much you guys love this track.
What the? Hang on. Is this? Hang on. Do I get a stake in the channel too? Do I get to borrow it like every other Thursday? What? Whose list is this? Like, are you that dumbfounded for opinions? You can't form your own? Like, what's the point of you even saying anything? Just put the news in the bag, little bro, if you're just gonna let other people dictate your opinion. Seriously, there's no point making this video. Just stick to your daily slot. Why did you make this? A little harsh, yeah, fair. But like, I don't know. For me, I'm just like, I at the very least want it to be your opinion. I don't care if your takes are bad, your takes are good. I at least want it to be your fucking opinion. Whose opinion is this, broski?
Sure, you can rail ride and wall ride into your heart's content on this stage, but you are gonna lose places, and you're gonna end up losing...
Okay, can you show some footage of that happening in an actual race? Like, you're showing it happening in under test conditions, so to speak, in a time trial. Can you show this in a race, for example, where you were in, like, say, 5th place, you took the just normal route, and other people were taking the better routes, and they ended up passing by you? Can you maybe show us an example of that? You can't, because you've never played this and consciously had that happen to you. You're just looking at the time trial. If he used the power of editing here, he could have maybe, like, convinced me, but no. Boo cinema. Okay, interesting.
So I know a lot of people are automatically probably going to put this one at the top of their list, but if you race through this even semi-competitively,
what's your VR? I bet I've got more VR than you, Nin10doland. I think we have to add another charge. I think we have to add another charge, though, we chat. 3 charges of comp Andy. I think I have to add at least. I'm gonna add 3 charges for that, honestly. I said a little bit of comp talk is understandable. You're pushing it here. It's not even. If I watched HD Rookie and he was giving me a lot of comp talk, that's to be expected. That's HD Rookie. He's a comp guy. Nin10doland is not a comp guy. What he's done is he's literally watched the world records and used that as the framework of his analysis. That is the thing I take issue with. Literally, it's literally, yeah, I like this track, but however the competitive, I'm like, okay, and? Like, yeah, if you did a Smash ranking and you said, oh, but the competitive, I'm like, are you Mango? But like, are you a high-level player? If not, I don't care.
This is one that might hurt a lot of you guys, because from what I can...
Guys, please, hear me out,
This is one that might hurt a lot of you guys, because from what I can tell online, you guys really love Dandelion Depths. I get it. It's a...
People online. Why is he afraid of everything? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's actually diabolical. And to be honest, if I was gonna psychoanalyze him a little bit, which I shouldn't do because I'm not a psychotherapist, but like, if there's something you've actually noticed in a lot of his comment sections, is whenever like he has a take that's even slightly against the Nintendo grain, there's like immediate pushback from like some of the what's going on here? Why are you so negative? What's that? So like I think like almost every, and he also does this on his live streams. Like he kept repeatedly going, I know a lot of people are gonna do this, but I actually like that. And I'm just like, I genuinely think he's just scared of his own audience. This is where the psychoanalysis comes in. It's either I'm gonna guess one of 2 things. I'm gonna psychoanalyze one of 2 things. One, either he's just like an absolute people pleaser right down to the end, which ideally once you gain an audience, you kind of realize it's very exhausting. You just stop doing that because for the sake of your mental health, but he just hasn't yet. Or 2, he is well aware that he is in a very lucky position relative to the content he makes, and he's doing whatever he can to keep the people happy. If I was to take a guess, I'd probably say he's just like people pleaser down to the very end. If I was being evil, I'd say the second one. But that's my psychoanalyzation of Nin10doland. Do not take any of that seriously because I don't know the guy. Shock him out in 20th? Oh my gosh.
I actually really do enjoy this stadium look now, kind of making it a stadium for the Charge and Chugs.
Ooh,
that
nice.
just makes me want a Mario American Football even more. One of my only problems with this track is it just feels like there's a little too much mud. There's so many instances where you're just getting...
I will give it to you, Mr. Nin10doland. Not a criticism I've ever heard.
A lot of these pathways are super narrow, which can be extremely frustrating to drive on when you have 24 racers in a game at once.
If anything, that's what makes it quite fun. Like, a lot of the tracks are quite open. In fact, you have an entire archetype of courses, the intermissions or the routes, that are very open. So having tracks that, like, really narrow the playing field is really fun. Especially when the track is in the fucking Lightning Cup, where ideally you'd want it to be hard. Saying a track that is in a archetype of cup that is hard and saying it's hard is a bit... strange analysis. I won't say lazy. It's not lazy, because at least I've not heard of it before. Mario Circuit.
I am a big believer on you should remake courses, but Mario Circuit is one that I always do not mind it staying very basic, because it's just one of those courses that you can always go back to, forget all the nonsense added to whatever Mario Kart that we're on, and it's just about pure driving and hitting your cuts. I love it.
You know, I actually agree with that analysis. I actually think that analysis is spot on. It's one of the things I kind of like about Mario Circuit too. I like that regardless of whatever game having whatever mechanics, it generally tends to be like just straight, simple racing. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people go, why is Mario Circuit this high? I actually don't mind it being this high. In fact, I had it reasonably high too. What I would argue is that, is it something you actually want though? Which I would say, not really, to be honest. I like the remake track. My thoughts are just playing other racing games if you want basic driving. Yeah, literally, it's one of those things where I like in principle that they have a track that tends to be quite simple. The argument is that something you value? To which I would say, I value it in this game because they've at least done something interesting in that it's Mario Circuit. It's all 3 Mario Circuits together. But at the same time, I'm not going to rank it too high because something being relatively simple is not something I value personally. You know? So yeah, it's kind of an interesting conversation. Crown City, huh?
brings me right back to Mario Kart Tour's city tracks, where, once again, we're racing through a giant city.
Is that city racism, gamers? Because if you're asking me, I don't think Crown City feels anything like the other cities. It's different. Like, Crown City is just kind of a Mario-ized city, whereas like the city tracks in Tour are kind of based off real. And I'm saying that's city racism, if I'm being honest. Hey, Alfonso, is this your goat? Alfonso, is this your goat? Holy. Listen, he could give me some gamers. He could give me some analysis. Let's see.
The same as most of the rest of the world, I am very excited to see Toad's Factory finally return in Mario Kart World.
And what is it, why it's in the bottom half of your ranking? Because personally, they put it from the Mushroom Cup to the Lightning Cup, scaled it down so it properly fits the Lightning Cup, still made it just as intense with the ramps and rails it used to be, implemented the parkour in a very interesting but non-obtrusive way, and overall, the ending bit is still as intense as it used to be. So as far as I'm concerned, this is literally like the perfect remake. I'm not even using that word lightly. Literally the perfect remake of a track. Like, I wish I hated it so I could at least say, oh, it sucks. You know, I mean, I wish I could be that different and be like, oh, it's bad. But like, no, this is literally this is all I could have asked for. So what is he possibly going to say?
However, I don't know if it's just me, but something about it just feels a little off.
You failed!
I don't know, guys. It has no charm. It has no charm. Hang on, let's see. Hold on.
I just can't put my finger on what it is. Yes, there's a
Hang on.
couple things missing from the original, like the giant cutout of Toad before entering back into the factory.
Is that the reason why it's yeah? Okay, gamers, so that's one reason. Let's see what the other reason is.
The wooden crates that would work as obstacles on the moving conveyor belt.
Okay, at least he gave an actual second reason. But to which I would say, with 24 players, I'm quite okay with them removing that as a hazard, because that bit is already narrow and chaotic enough as it is. I think them removing a hazard actually worked for me, personally.
But besides those, it just, I don't know, feels a little okay.
What do you mean? Oh, no! My brother in Christ, it's your ranking. Give me an explanation. Literally, chat, all he has to say is, it's not as charming. That might be a dog shit boring reason, but at least it's a reason. Just say something. Hang on. Hold, chat. Hold.
But I still love it. The layout is fun. But I think it's really break it down and look at it in a competitive way.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I did ask for a reason. The monkey's paw code. Oh my lord. That's the ref. No, ref.
Send him off! Send the drinking off!
That's just typical what it is. Get him walking, gamers, get him walking. Genuinely, and I mean this with all my heart, gamers. I mean this. I do not care what the comp Andy's think of Toad's Factory. I know. Brave. You're so brave for this, Sir Musty. The people on the line are going to be so upset with you, I know.
It's just off the beaten path, like the giant cranes holding the giant metal beams is just not faster than simply using a mushroom to cut the corner through.
What if you don't have a mushroom, though? And besides, it's cool. I want to say the line. No, okay, I have to. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, chat. I really don't know what to say.
Using some of these shortcuts, like driving up on the wall to the top section, doesn't really do much for you on this track.
But it's literally... I'm adding an extra charge. It's cool. If anything, that's kind of all I need. It's like the cut in Great Question Block Ruins, right? More often than not, when I take it, I die. But if I land it, it's hype. Imagine it, the Nintendo fan. The Nintendo fan is trying to take the game seriously. What's happening here?
The Toad's Factory definitely still is a gem, and I am so glad that it's back.
Hang on. Oh my god, hang on. Chat, wait.
The Toad's Factory definitely still is a gem, and I am...
My favorite charge is my favorite charge. Minus spelling mistake, brother. You lose. Oh, Oh man, and you just know, chat, it's gonna be.
Well, this track is really fun. However,
And I mean it when I say this, chat. I know obviously the word charming. We've kind of memed the word charming, right? This stage is actually probably one of the most charming like references to like Nintendo's roots ever. It really is. And not only is it just like really charming to play on, to race on, it's really fun too. Like it escalates in a pretty nice way. Like, I understand if like on a racetrack front you might not find it as compelling as I do. So I think I put it in the top 5 for me. If you put it like maybe top 10, even top 12, I'm okay with that. But in 16th, I think this was 16th. It's oof, you know, bottom half technically.
A space station based off of the original Donkey Kong arcade game is so awesome. Each layer being completely different is actually pretty unique. There's tons of rail sections, wall sections as well. Even though none of these do too much to improve your world record time, I mean, if you're going...
well, this track is really fun. However...
Like, I have to add a charge. I have to add a charge for that. I have to add a charge for that. That's so bad.
You're probably not going to use any of the walls. You're just kind of driving straight. And the only real short...
Yeah, but it's... If you tell me right now, Musti, when you're in the grinding section, jumping between rails is actually slower, I genuinely don't care. It's just when I'm in that grinding section, jumping between rails is just fun. It's just fun and cool. Ah, no! Ah! Not high enough. Not high enough, okay? Not high enough.
Sky High Sunday was one of those tracks in Mario Kart 8 that neither me or my friends really cared about because it was just a basic loop.
Did you have to console your friends for that opinion as well?
But I'm happy to say that it feels very fresh and actually really fun in Mario Kart World. And I can't really explain why, because not all that much has changed. There's
What do you mean not all that much has changed? Literally every... Take your pick, brother. Do you want to talk about the graphics? Do you want to talk about all the grinding stuff? Do you want to talk about all the things they fixed?
a couple of extra routes and also lots of rails to ride.
Yeah, just look,
and the only real major difference is the fact that you can actually ride on the inside of the wall on that final bend.
No, but there's the walls, there's the rails, that even the beginning glider ramp has a bit off to the side. This is dog shit. Holy 2 months, Batman. You should have just made this on day 1 and called it a day. At least I want to know what I was getting into.
I don't know. Is it just me? Maybe I'm overreacting and maybe this track really isn't that good?
Why would you even say that? Again, literally, in real time, chat, look, I'm not going crazy, chat. We're not going crazy. He's literally Gamez outsourcing his thoughts. This is literally what he's doing. That's gotta be another felony. That's gotta be another felony, honestly. Actually diabolical, bruv. I've literally never seen a YouTuber so fucking insecure about his own opinions.
The entire course is now filled with these LED neon signs that glow really bright at night, and it just really livens the whole course up. It makes everything look even more delicious than it already did. I love Sky High.
Can you show us? Because I actually don't remember what that looks like. I'd love to see it. And it wouldn't even be that hard. You could just go in free roam and just keep fast traveling until it's nighttime. And then just show us. It's literally not that hard, I promise. Like, you're talking to someone who hates recording footage as well. But it's literally just, I just teleported there and showed you guys the plaza because the power of editing, gamers. The power of editing. Whistle Stop is 14? Crazy.
Whistle Stop Summon is a tricky one for me because I had to put bias aside because I don't like this track.
So why is it high then?
Personally, I don't think it's that good for me, but I understand why a lot of people really like it. It is full of...
Whose video am I watching? It's your list. What we did? That's another felony charge, gamers. He's outsourcing his own opinions.
You just really have to learn it. And I haven't practiced all too much, but it is very difficult to hit some of these things. I mean, just literally look at some of this stuff.
Okay, again, like, I've seen the world records. I know how cool they are. But, like, why is it this high if you don't like it? Fuck what this guy can do. You shouldn't care about this guy. It's your list. He's not going to provide any commentary on top. Like, I mean, far be it from me to yell fair use, fair use, fair use. But in all fairness, I do operate within the bounds. But you're not going to offer like, oh, what parts in particular were the parts you enjoyed? What parts do you think were really cool? Like, if anything, this part, I think I mentioned how cool it was that you can do this jump mushroomless. This jump, look, he's still going to have 2 mushrooms. It's so tight as well. Look how cool this is, man. Look, you barely made. How cool is that? Is Nin10doland going to tell you how cool this is? No. No.
I think this was like a extreme anti-casual track altogether. There's so many rail systems.
Gamers, let's be real here. The first time you played Whistle Stop Summit, what did you do the moment you hit that long rail bit? You like jumped up, like trick constantly, like you jumped along to the sides or all the bit. On a casual level, this is really, really fun. I love this track as a more casual. I'm a big fan.
I'm just not as huge of a fan as a lot of people are. But
but like, it's like if I said I love Melee because you can wave dash. Like, wave dashing is a cool thing, but my personal enjoyment of Melee doesn't come from wave dashing. I love the event matches. I love all the cool side modes. I love the adventure mode. I love All-Star. It's just a really fun game that controls well. I'll mention wave dashing because obviously, yeah, historically, it's one of the most important techs in the entire game. But like, in my personal review of this, or like, I'm not gonna compliment it too hard because I just don't care. It's my rank. You're talking to me. Like, I can sometimes wave dash with Luigi. So like, why are you ranking this high when you don't care for it? You know what I mean? Yeah, I may be lactose intolerant, but I don't know cheese, so I gotta eat. Galleon.
Wario Shipyard is one track that is easily working its way up to becoming like my top 10. It definitely beats a boring, slow drive underwater like the Mario Kart 7 version, so I'm so glad this got revamped.
That boring, slow, ooh, crazy.
And I didn't even mention how beautiful it is, just alone. It's kind of like this stormy, cloudy storm at sea.
Stormy, cloudy storm at sea. I mean, listen, I'm assuming you're not an English professor, but maybe a second draft of ChatGPT, maybe. The stormy storm was storming the fucking Orc City ass writing. It's so sad because I genuinely think he hates his content and wants to be a comp Andy. He's been about this whole time, how bad he is at the game and how much he loves comp. Yeah, but unfortunately, he's just audience captured. I think that's the term for it, right? If I'm going to tangent slightly, hate your energy. Well, like, I think Nintendo Land is in a very unenviable position, if you ask me. Like, for me, like, I'm in a position where he might be able to flex his bands, like Money Talks, Dirty Cash, you want it. For me, I do this part-time through the loving donations of my fantastic audience, where I can essentially turn on the stream and cover, generally within the bounds of Nintendo, obviously, but generally whatever I kind of want. And generally, there'll be enough people interested in it. I'm a free man. I'm a free man, brother. So I'm just like, if you wanted to make comp videos, it'd be nice if he could. Unironically, I don't know if he has a second channel. What would be quite fun is if like he went through a series where he really practiced like one track and got better. Like day one of practicing Galleon and day two of practicing Galleon. But he can't like dedicate himself to really practicing these tracks because he just has to make daily slop. That's the sad bit. He's stuck in the daily slop chamber, which is such a shame, honestly, because it seems like you really enjoy this on a comp level if it's not just you ripping shortcuts. But I actually watched to watch this guy, and then a drama between you two started, and it took me. Yes, we stole one. And Nintendo Landon, I know you're watching this, broski. I know you're watching this. I stole one of yours, okay? I put the helmet on him. I buzzed the electricity, and it said, "Must support people online. Never start off best track."
Wario Stadium from Mario Kart 64 was one of those weird ones that I also was scratching my head at, but when I saw the trick potential that this track had, I was instantly in love. It's simply just one of those tracks that once you practice a little bit and get down and memorize the paths, you're going to be zipping around corners and feeling like an absolute stunt devil on this track. I was genuinely surprised at how good this track ended up being in this game, and it's definitely one of my favorites.
Oh, do you know what? Fair. Oh, hang on. A broken clock is right twice a day. Do you know, relatively speaking, by Nintendo Land standards, that was decent analysis. By Nintendo Land standards, that was amazing. Let's continue. Broken clock, eh?
I often see questions of people asking me what's my favorite track in Mario Kart, and without a doubt, for a while, it has always been Airship.
Best in the series? I don't know, Mount Warrior's right there, but sure, Mr. Landon.
And I am so glad that they didn't touch it, because I love Airship Fortress, man.
Wait, hang on, editor might have to flash back. Didn't he earlier say that he likes it when they remake tracks and give it like its own unique thing? Mario Circuit.
I'm a big believer on you should remake courses.
Ideally, wouldn't you want the same for Airship Fortress? In my ranking, that's the reason I didn't put Airship in S. Because like, I think it's great, but it's Airship Fortress still, you know?
Could this course have used a little bit of an upgrade, maybe adding some more airships that we raced on? And
that's what I'm saying. That's what I said the same thing.
Sure, I guess you can nitpick and complain. I
wouldn't say that's a nitpick or a complaint. That's the reason why I tend not to rank remakes that just do the original and that's kind of it as highly. Because for me, it's like, if I just wanted to play Airship Fortress, I'd go play the original. So why would I play this version of Airship Fortress over the original? So that's why I want like the same skeleton, but like a bit more. And that's what I like about Toad's Factory. Scaled down, extra paths, that girder shortcut. They added a bit more like meat on the bone where I'm like, okay, this is the Mario Kart World version of Toad's Factory. I wouldn't say that's a nitpick. I'd say that's a very valid complaint, but I guess anything's a nitpick to you, eh? music video. Okay, you know, Albert. I've had you know, Albert. Another half an hour in the bin, Albert. Okay, I'm drunk. Okay, I've had enough of you. I've had enough of you right now. Okay, I'm in the mood to run something over, and you're within running over range. Okay, I've had enough of you.
It's got some obstacles. It's got tight turns. It's got the absolutely beautiful war aesthetic going on outside. I'm not saying war is beautiful. Please.
Oh, and clip it and ship it, gamers. Clip it and ship it. No one makes that extra funny, chat. Remember, this is a pre-recorded video, chat. All he had to do was re-record the line. That's all he had to do. Either he flubbed and he said that by mistake, or he wrote that in a script. I don't know which one's funnier. I don't know what's funnier, chat. I don't know which one's funnier, but the idea that he could have edited that out and just didn't is very funny. Hey, he called it. Yeah, Sid is pretty cool.
I was somebody that really was not a big fan of Wild Woods from Mario Kart 8.
Classic tree racism, gamers. Check the time step. Oh, okay, that's diabolical. Ref. Gamers, that has to be. That has to be. Has to be another charge of track racism. Unbelievable!
You can build your own path down the hill, and maybe every single lap, it could change drastically depending on what place you're in, what items you're holding, and what type of route that you want to go for.
Even I like that. I like that about Wild Woods. I almost said it myself. I like that about Acorn Heights, yeah. Faraway Oasis, huh? Interesting.
People might be wondering why this course is so high.
I am definitely wondering that, yeah.
5 of Mario Kart World for me.
On my mother, if it's comp, I'm gonna fucking come to your house, Nin10doland.
I'm sorry, my bias is gonna take over a little bit here.
Okay, we got to give him a charge there. We got to give him a charge, gamers. 3 charges, gamers. 3. Good lord, what is happening in here?
I have a huge love for the African savanna and even the Sahara themed tracks and worlds and games. I love them so much. So when I saw this one before the game even came out, I knew I was gonna fall in love with it.
Okay, why would you apologize for that? Like, I'm no stranger about the fact that, like, I love music themes. Like, if a track has a music theming, it's artificially gonna go up like a tier because I love music themed levels. So if you like this, I don't know why you'd apologize for this. You like a certain theme and it raises it up for you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just how you feel.
It is an extremely well put together track. Sometimes you don't need tracks to.
Sorry, I'm sorry to keep pausing. Gulp, guys, I like. I kind of like it. Oh, jeez, Ray.
Because Faraway Oasis has a little bit of everything you could possibly need in this game.
Like, can you at least point out the fact that animals aren't an active hazard when I think it's fair for someone to expect them to be, especially when DDJ's in the game, the animals are in the thumbnail, they were in the intermission going in and going out, and that's probably why a good chunk of people don't think it's as good as it could be.
I really, really love this stage. There's a little bit of water sections that's not too difficult to traverse. There's a really cool ending where if you have a mushroom, you can dash around the corner and hit a shortcut.
I do like that ending shortcut.
Honestly, if this was just what I like and not taking in consideration what other people would think about this track, I'd probably say it's my favorite one personally in the entire game.
What the heck?
So the only reason you're not ranking it number 1 is because people would be mad at you? What is actually happening, chat? Literally the people on the line. I'm adding two, chat. I'm adding 2 friendly counts. That's actually unbelievable. Why is he outsourcing his opinions? It's your list. It's your list.
This track is peak, man. As soon as I flew up here, I immediately just said, yep, this is gonna be amazing. There's so many sections, and it is genuinely showing the full power of the Nintendo Switch 2.
And just listen, he's like speaking like he loves how good it is. He's really passionate gamers. Watch when he says, oh, I didn't put it number 1 because people didn't like So let's find out. Let's find out.
Honestly, I know a lot of people might complain that the actual track's design isn't anything super crazy. You're not wall riding or rail riding, but this
is the part where you say fuck 'em. Come on, Nin10doland, do it.
This is one of the rare exceptions that I'm going to give it because this track is just too good to just not put up here. I absolutely adore this track, but if I had any complaints, it's just the stupid spawn rate of blue shells here. I mean, you're going to get hit with like 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's just because the race is long. So even when he's giving it now, oh, come on, really? Yeah, it's because it's a long track, so you're just gonna, like, just by virtue of the fact it's longer, you're gonna see more blue shells. That's just mathematics. All you had to do was say, if there's one complaint, it's not as difficult as some people would like. And that would have been perfect. Even when he's right, he's wrong. How did he do that? Jesus Christ. Much higher than where I'd put it, right, gamers?
Shanghai Bazaar was one of those Mario Kart tracks I just never really thought about. I guess it just never really stood out to me on Mario Kart 7. And
Really? I would say it definitely stood out to me. Like, it's definitely one of the best that 7 has to offer, theming-wise and racetrack-wise, I would say. It's just I'm not too enamored by this version, although I still like it.
you can go from the very beginning of the track to the very end without even touching the main ground,
Compandy.
which is just, for what it's worth, I love the inclusion of Daisy's Palace in the background.
I was going to say, there's no way Mr. Nintendo Soy Boy doesn't mention the fucking... doesn't mention the palace bit. Oh, you know, fair.
I
Only number too low. Too low, gamers, too low.
really wasn't that impressed with Bowser's Castle. When I was watching some people play in their demo sessions with the Switch 2, oh boy, was I wrong. If you just want to race Bowser's Castle completely normally, it's still an absolute
It
rush.
definitely
There's
is.
and they really have you moving around that final bend. I mean, sometimes it's even hard to control. And if you're using a mushroom too and even driving off into lava, yeah, you better hold on.
So it's hard to control and you like it. But when Cheap Falls is hard to control,
This track has it all, not to mention also branching paths towards the very beginning, where you can take a completely different upper section of the course to get away from the chaos, and even find a Bowser-themed storage unit that you can wall ride on to cut the track a little bit. It's these little
nice,
things
isn't
that
it?
all, however, it's still not my number one.
It's a great question, Block Ruins. And that's obviously tech. Because, I mean, even on a casual level, that is still very techy.
There's never been a track that I was so confident that it was going to be peak before it even came out. Every
Really?
clip gamer.
I don't know. This one wasn't one that, like, won me over until I played it a bunch, you know? Like, the theme is good, but it didn't really win me over until I really played it. Not the worst choice for number one, I guess. It's even worse when you think about the fact that technically Faraway Oasis should be its number one. But he didn't want to put it there because he's a fucking baby. So, like, this being at number one is, like, literally, I was going to time Kelly Kinlap for saying NPC ass number one because I'm like, well, if a track is good, of course it's going to be people's number one, dipshit. Do you expect someone to put a fucking, what, like, Warriors Ganon number one just to be different and quirky? No, people are going to put the track they think is number one. But the reason why this is an NPC ass number one is because it's not his actual feelings. It's supposed to be Faraway Oasis.
Because there's one tech that just blew up the internet when someone actually found this. Bouncing off of the side of a boost ring that's meant to be flown through, not tricked off of. But this allows you to bounce off the ring off the side of the track and then back onto the track again.
Yeah, that's
There's
the kart
even
game,
more
is the
advanced
kart,
tech
the
that
kart.
you can do now where
The
you
kart.
can even fly over
Everyone knows about
boxes,
that kart.
But it's just absolutely incredible that this track is able to be played in this way and Nintendo actually allow this.
Nintendo allows this? Holy... Oh, it's gross! You're a grown man! You're a grown man! Oh, I hope Father Nintendo allows this. That's got to be a felony, gamers. That's got to be a felony. I don't care. I'm doing it. I'm putting it as another felony. Yeah, one felony charge of I've never played Metroid. Literally unfucking believable.
Even if the trick system doesn't return, this needs to be a just series staple retro track in the future because it's just that good.
I wouldn't say so. If the trick system doesn't return, I don't want a great question block returning. I think a lot of the fun of this is the trick system.
Shoot, I'll go even further and say it's one of the most fun areas to explore in free roam as well. You can get on the top of the great question block for
Like, are we counting free roam in this ranking? I mean, you didn't talk about free roam for the other ones.
Literally from free roam to actual races, everything this track does, it does so extremely well.
Like, is that factoring in or not? You didn't tell us.
Ruins, and that is why it is my favorite track in Mario Kart.
Okay.
Definitely let me know if you agree with my list. What is
Well, I don't agree with your list because Fire Oasis should be number one. You literally just said it should be number one. This whole list is basically obsolete, if I'm being real. This is terrible, brother. Was it Whistle Stop? Yeah, Whistle Stop should be much lower, and Fire Oasis should be number one.
Were there any ones that absolutely blew your mind on my list or shocked you? And what would you change if
Well, it shocks me how much of a fucking spineless weasel you are. That's what shocks it. In fact, I say I'm shocked, but like, I literally thought you would have learned this. You literally dug through my channel for any video featuring you so you could try and cancel me on Twitter. And instead of taking any of my criticism in earnest, which was, hey, moron, how about you have your own opinion? Even 4 months later, you're still doing the same fucking thing? So what, you were just angry that I fucking covered you instead of like actually listening to my critiques? Classic. Genuinely atrocious list. A lot of your analyses were less than stellar. Some tracks aren't even supposed to be where they are. A lot of them you're factoring in comp techniques, which I'm not sure whether you were doing it or you simply watched videos. I can't tell personally because your video didn't make that very clear. Like, I'm not saying you have to like put like the whole ocean into it, but like, What are we doing here, mate? So all in all, reading off your charges, you have got 1 charge of the power of editing in Sky High Sunday. You should have shown us the night footage. 1 charge of minor spelling mistake where you said hidden jump, which you could have just re-recorded that line personally. But the slot must go away. 2 charges of No Joy No Whimsy with Toad's Factory. 1 charge of city racism in Crown City. 8 charges of Comp Andy. 3 charges of Diabolical Take. A lot of them were just in cheap rules. 1 charge of Lazy Analysis for Mario Bros. Circuit. 3 charges of Opinion Apology. 1 charge of Track Racism. 3 charges of People on the Line. 4 felony charges of outsourcing your opinions. 2 felony charges for not liking my scrimbly. And 1 felony charge of Daddy Nintendo. So all in all, I'm sentencing you with never rank anything ever again. Is that fair to say? You have a hidden talent. Make sure it stays hidden, okay? Let's do some Bravo 6 and shall we? As much as I oh
my god, bro.
Gamers.
How about that? Send him off! Get him off the field!
You know it has to be done now, chat. You hate to do it, Albert. You gotta go, Albert. You gotta go. You gotta go, Albert. Another half an hour in the bin. Albert's been banned for a collective, like, 1/3 of this stream's runtime. The whole video saying, where's Far Oasis? No way he's a top 5. The try kind of sucks. Yeah, I was proven wrong. If he apologizes, chat, I'm gonna fucking flip a lid. Why are we still here? Just to suffer. I mean, they do say suffering is part of the human condition. I just wasn't expecting that out of a Nin10doland video. A shame his allergy to opinions made this more of a miss than a hit, but hey, believe in the me that believes in him. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. And while you're observing my super circuit skills, I would like to observe the members that make this all possible. Starting with the wizards looking oh so wizardous. They love casting spells. Thank you so much in particular. And let's not forget the Royal Guard scrolling across the screen now, and the knights you see in the description. The final stop of our course ranking world tour will take us to the big man himself, Sephiroth. And as a bit of a teaser, that one had a little something for everyone. Went all around the opinion spectrum with that one. And I think overall it was a very fun watch. And the crap man always tends to be, so it's nice to see that he still delivered. As for me personally, I've been working on a lot of Pokemon stuff. Oh, I decided to move Pokemon to another channel, by the way. You can see in the description if you're curious. I've already got 1 video on there and it was pretty neat. It got 10,000 views. I wasn't expecting that, really. It was just supposed to be like a short video to get that channel rolling, but you know, Pokemon fans, am I right? They're crazy. I thought they were lazy just like Game Freak, am I right? I'm very excited for what Pokemon Legends ZA is going to have in store for us. In the same way that I'm almost as excited to have my hopes dashed for when Nintendo confirmed there will not be DLC for Mario Kart World. From what I remember, I think it was 3 months after Mario Kart 8, they started talking about DLC, so we're about that time where they probably should start talking about it. Maybe for the 40th anniversary. But with Nintendo, you could just never be too sure. I really hope we get some. Well, maybe we have to wait 10 more years. Who knows? By the way, you certainly don't have to wait for more content. If you missed the previous 2 stops on the course ranking world tour, they are both the videos on your right. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and the other channels down in the description. Leave a like before you go. And until next time, there's your lot.